Hi everyone, my name is Matt Johnston, and I'm the producer for a little film called Wagon Attack 2. First of all, I just want to thank everyone for giving it 80,000 views in just about a week. Did pretty well for a film about a crappy wagon. The biggest question I got over the last week or so was what camera I used to make the film. So I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a look inside my bag here and show you what cameras I used. Alright, first things first is you're going to have a bag. Wagon Attack 2 and all my gear is really the biggest bang for the buck. I don't have a lot of money and I don't do this for my job, so everything here is just the best bang for the buck I can get. So I'm using a fancier brand bag. You can find them on eBay. They're like $40. It's just your typical China bag. I'm sure it probably won't last forever, but it's lasted a good 6 months of being beat around rally stages and Wagon Attack 2 amongst other things. So you need to have yourself a good bag to protect all your gear, especially if you're going to be running all over the place. So let's take a look inside here. Alright, so no big surprises here. I don't want to bum anyone out, but we didn't really use anything fancy for the shoot. First of all, I've got a Canon 7D. This was the primary camera that I used for Wagon Attack 2. The camera that I'm shooting with right now, I'll show you guys in a second, that's a Sanyo Xacti HD1A that I used a lot as well. So this is a Canon 7D. It allows you to shoot in HD mode, both in 1020p 24 frames a second, as well as 720p 60 frames a second. And it has a lot of advantages, it has a lot of disadvantages as well. The 720p mode really looks like crap, but it allows you to what's called overcrank and slow motion things. The 1020p 24 mode looks really nice as long as you have shallow depth of field going on. When you have really wide scenes, it starts to kind of fall apart a bit. Unfortunately, Wagon Attack 2 was probably the hardest thing for this camera to do. It's all wide focus, wide shots. It's exactly what this thing doesn't excel at. But it turned out okay. There's a lot of shots I didn't use just because I didn't feel they looked as good as I wanted. But it is really a great camera. The body is about $1,600, I believe, and it's well worth it. So, great camera to use. It does take a long time to set up, and you have to pull focus. Everything's manual, so it works like an old, like a film camera or a cinema camera in that respect. The lenses I've used here for Wagon Attack and all my other projects are, in fact, none of them are Canon lenses. So here we have a Olympus Zuiko 28mm 3.5. All my lenses have Nikon caps on them and 49 to 52mm step-up rings. All these are actually designed for Nikon. They're a China brand from eBay, like $3, $4, $5 or something like that. And then I put a step-up ring on so they all have the same 52mm front, so I can use the same filters on them. So this is an Olympus Zuiko 28-35 with a Canon EOS adapter on the back of it there. And it's really a beautiful lens. It's really small, it has great color rendition. A nice old school thick focus ring. I really love working with this lens. The only bummer is it is kind of slow at f3.5. Next to that here I have a Nikon 105-5, which is just a beautiful old prime lens again. Big, nice focus ring, a lot of focus travel, built-in lens hood. This one doesn't need a step-up ring because it's already 52 or 55mm front, I don't remember. Again, it has a EOS adapter on the back there, so that I can use it on my 7D. Next to that, I have this old Vivitar 135-8. I use this a lot in the dunes for Wagon Attack 2 when I can get on the top of another dune and shoot across. With the crop factor on the 7D, it's longer than 135, so it actually becomes a pretty tele lens. Again, it's not the best lens. This was like $40 on eBay. It's M42 mount, so I have an M42 to EOS adapter on the back, but it's got a really long turn focus ring, which makes it really easy for pulling focus. It has nice bokeh, and it's pretty quick at f2.8. So it's a nice lens to have around if you're on a budget like I am. Again, this is only like $40. Over here we have this is my favorite lens. This is over here we have my favorite lens. This is a Takumar 50mm f1.4 with a 52mm step ring and Nikon cap on it. But this is actually an old Takumar Pentax lens. Really long focus ring. so it makes it a lot easier to pull focus. f1.4, so it's very fast at night. We've got a M42 to EOS adapter on the back of that. You can see right through that thing. That's beautiful. It's a little yellowed over time, but it really is a beautiful lens, and I love working with it. Also in my bag here, this is a camera. This is a Optec A-8 HD, and as you can see, it's got Velcro on it. It's been masking taped. It's literally been beat to hell. I don't know if you can see that, but it's very, very beat up. This shoots 720p, and what I like about it is it has no moving parts. So we use this for the under jump shots. I stuck this to the wagon, I duct taped it to things, and it literally took 4 or 5 direct hits. When Luke was doing the jumps over the dunes, I put this underneath the car, and the first couple times Luke didn't get off the ground, and he actually literally ran this thing over a couple of times. And it doesn't really care, it just keeps going because there's no moving parts in it. Next to that, I have a lipstick camera from Rage Cams. It's just your generic lipstick camera. They're about $120 or so, and it's just composite. It's not high def or anything like that, but it lets me just get some unique angles. I kind of stick it in fun places like inside intake manifolds and fun stuff like that. Over here, audio obviously super important, probably more important than video quality. Unfortunately, I don't have the money for some really nice audio gear, but I do have this Rode video mic, and I've got a Rode Dead Cat on it right now, and it looks like this. It's got an integrated shock mount. It's a really, really nice microphone. It uses a 1/8 mini plug instead of XLR input, so it's not balanced, so you will pick up noise if you use it on a boom pole. You can plug this directly into the 7D, but because the 7D doesn't have any audio controls, I usually plug it into my Sanyo there because at least I can control the level of it. So most of the audio is recorded on this, either into the camera or into the 5D and then synced later. So I just keep that guy right here. It's a really nice microphone to have around. I also have this Lightcraft Workshop Fader ND. This is an absolute necessity if you're going to be shooting with DSLRs and you want to get that shallow look because you need to reduce light hitting the lens. I didn't have this for Wagon Attack. It didn't come in time. I really wish I would have, but it's a 52mm thread, so it mounts on all my lenses here. And what it allows me to do is just reduce the amount of light entering the lens just by turning it here. So it's a variable ND, and it's absolutely a necessity if you're going to be shooting with DSLRs. Alright, also in my bag is a Sanyo Xacti HD1A. They're discontinued now. You can find them on eBay for like 150 bucks. It makes a pretty decent 720p image. It's pretty well built. It's plastic with metal hinges and metal buttons. But the nice thing about it is it's so small. I can take my wide angle lens off here. This is a Mercury 0.45x digital wide angle lens with an adapter. These are from eBay, like $45. It's okay. But what's nice about this is it's so small, I can just stuff this guy in my pocket, take it with me wherever I go. I use it for an in-car camera, I tape it to things, I stick it on that Gorilla Pod, I put it on the end of posts and up in trees and all sorts of stuff. It makes a really nice image. It's also a still camera. It's got a little pop-up flash there and everything. I really like working with this camera. It's nice because I can just pull it out, hit record, and get some action. Whereas with the 7D, you have to pull it out, choose your lens, pull focus. So it's really nice to just be able to grab a nice image with a small camera. That's it. That's my kit for producing videos and little films. I'm sorry if I disappointed you. There's nothing super fancy in here. There's no Phantom high-speed cameras, no Reds. Nothing super cool. Just some pretty good tools that are good bang for the buck that work pretty well.